Is this game the next CoD Killer? Nah, dude, how many times are we gonna try and say this clickbait shit over and over again? The Finals is a new free-to-play first-person shooter. This game is centered around being on a game show of a blood sport where regular dudes like you and I go into an arena and compete to gain cash and fight to the death. The Finals is free-to-play, however, it does have an in-game shop and battle pass, of course. This game takes a lot of good things that are pretty standard in first-person shooters now, including particular weapons and mechanics, and adds a handful of interesting twists. The premise of the game is simple. You're an ordinary person who gets cast into an arena to collect cash in a blood sport game show. This comes to be obvious with the sports arena and the announcers. The announcers are a tad annoying at first, and all of the sounds, the crowd cheering, and the game show buzzers can get really annoying. You can turn down the voice volume and completely mute it, however. Unfortunately, some of the other sounds are there to stay, so sometimes it just sounds like you're chilling in a casino.
For our fans as the powerhouses are opening.
This isn't the first game that's based on the premise of a blood sport. Apex Legends, for example, is the same idea, and I do think it's neat. However, it is a little uncomfortably likely feeling looking at a possible Ready Player One style future. The gameplay itself feels great. Immediately upon playing the game, I was able to dial my aim in and get a solid feel for the mechanics right away. It's fairly intuitive, as many shooters are relatively standardized in controls these days. The sliding, swapping guns, using equipment, etc. And of course you can bind your controls as well. The movement mechanics feel pretty fluid and are overall just saucy. There will definitely be a lot of insane movement montages, just not by me. There's a lot of jump pads, zip lines, tall buildings that are ever changing, so movement can get absolutely bananas. The actual graphics of this game are pretty insane in my opinion. My PC isn't exactly cutting edge, but this game runs fantastically and looks visually stunning. In my opinion and experience, it looks a lot better than many games I play and handles it well. The stylization of the game is relatively clean and modern, uses a lot of bright colors which can be a lot of red, but the game has a nice aesthetic. The classes are familiar but done a little different. They're based on the physical build of the character, light, medium, and heavy. Each corresponds to the type of weapons, equipment, and abilities you can use, but also affects your movement speed and health. Light build has low HP and moves fast, and so on. They've already had to tweak the heavy build because it was a little too OP. As far as weapons go, there's a decent slew of choices, although I think there's definitely room for more. I'm sure future seasons will introduce new weapons. For some reason, the light class has almost twice as many weapons as many of the others. Many of the guns feel familiar. The MP5, MAC-10, SCAR, AK, M60, you know, the usual. There are exciting choices such as the flamethrower and throwing knives, and even a sword in the mix that spice it up. You're able to earn in-game points to purchase new pieces of equipment and new weapons. They don't come too easily, so you'll have to choose what you want to try wisely, which also gives you some things to work towards. The guns do not have attachments at the moment, which is an interesting choice, but this kind of simplifies the performance of the gun, which is nice. Although iron sights on some guns kinda suck. Although at first it feels like there aren't that many weapon choices, it's nice to get familiar with a weapon, and the progression isn't incredibly fast either, so you can kinda take it slow. One thing that kinda kills me is the lack of a secondary weapon. You have 4 slots to fill for your loadout, 3 of which are equipment. Without a firearm, you have to manage your ammo pretty well, and it is challenging. Without it, you can finish off with melee or take cover and struggle to reload, or use some of your environment. Something that takes some getting used to in my opinion. That being said, 3 pieces of equipment is a lot. This game definitely has a lot of stuff to get into that's really cool. You can get these goo grenades, which are just like a can of expanding foam that creates a blockage, which can change your environment. There's Molotovs, regular frags, flashes, zip lines, defibrillators, auto turrets. Another super unique feature about this game is you can actually throw grenades underhanded by using your right click, which is really pretty interesting. The abilities are nice as well, and they also change based on the class you play. The default for light class is a grappling hook, which makes movement crazy. The medium build gets a healing gun, while heavy gets a shield or a wall slam, which is also pretty wild. When you build your loadout, you can also choose 4 other items you can swap to during the match as a reserve, so you can change it up if you want different utilities or just want to switch it up when you're bored. I think this is a fantastic idea. Another unique part of this game is when players die, they drop a chest-looking piece on the ground that can be used as a respawn point. However, you can pick this up and move it to a safe area. The customization in this game is plentiful, but slightly limited too. I suspect this is going to be rich with customization options, even for free. However, it is a Battle Pass game, and most of the stuff is going to be locked behind a Battle Pass. There are a good chunk of items available for free, however I personally plan to keep playing for free. You know what else is free? Hitting the like button and subscribing. Wow, thank you so much. There's a lot of slots for customization. We have emotes and sprays, weapon charms, gun skins, and of course, character customization. The characters have individual pieces of clothing that can be customized, which adds a lot of options. There's even unique additions like watches and a pet for your shoulder. I'm not sure I've seen that in the shooter yet. That's really interesting. The game modes are pretty refreshing. You run around the map to find a cash box, take it to a cash out station where you need to defend it and extract money. This can be a tad confusing, or at least it was for me at first. There can be multiple stations, and there are 3 game modes that all seem more similar than they are unique. Eventually, you will do tournaments, which is fighting over cash out stations in a 3-round bracket elimination game. Teamwork is pretty important, considering if 3 peoples are defending a cash out station, you probably aren't going to solo win it, which complicates things. There are some unique mechanics that make this game really fun. First of all, there are canisters of items around the map that include toxic gas, expanding foam, smoke, and general explosives that you can pick up and toss. This means that those particular offenses can be used by any team pretty easily. This might affect how you run your setups as well. For example, knowing that you can often access foam might make you reconsider using the foam grenade in your loadout. Additionally, one of the most fun and chaotic parts of this game is the destructible environment. The buildings in this game can be destroyed, sometimes pretty easily, especially as heavy class. This means the environment is changing and the floors and walls around you can always go bye-bye. This can make for a really messy and annoying game sometimes, but it is a cool feature for sure. I think a lot of people like destructible environments, although I must say it can be excessive and a bit annoying. This game has a few bugs, balancing issues, and straight up exploits that need to be sorted out, but overall this game is really nice. It's free, and it doesn't even take that much storage. The game was 17 gigabytes when I downloaded it. People always want to know the same thing. Is it a CoD killer? Who gives a shit? If Modern Warfare 3 proved anything, it's that people who want to play Call of Duty are just going to keep playing it. There's room for other games, and this game has definitely solidified itself as a really solid shooter. I think it has some mechanics that make it a welcome breath of fresh air, at least for now. I do fear that some aspects of this game will become stale relatively quickly. The progression so far is okay, but there really aren't too many weapons in the game, especially compared to most other shooters. There's a lot to try and buy. I can already see this game has set itself up for a lot of room to grow. There's plenty of ways they can continue building onto this game. The progression isn't incredibly fast, which can be a good thing, as players don't run out of things to do, but with a lot of Battle Pass games, it becomes stale if the gameplay isn't stellar. I think this game has a lot of potential, and it's certainly worth trying. There's not a lot of commitment to this game, it's free, and it's even a light download. Other than a little bit of wasted time, I don't see any good reasons why you shouldn't try it for yourself and be the judge. I will personally be playing this game instead of a lot of other shooters in the near future, for sure. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a review of The Finals. Have you played this game? Do you think it's fun? And do you think it's going to last the long term? I think it's got a lot of potential, and it's at least a breath of fresh air for now. It takes some unique risks, and it's enjoyable. Thank you so much for watching. I'm VonClayton Gaming. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, leave a comment if you have something to say, and subscribe for more. We're going to make gaming videos till the end of time, gamers, and I'll see you there.